Okay, let's continue on marching through the CD collection. First up, we're still on the bees. I think this is video 20, and we're still on the bees. We have a band called Bach Rug. This album is entitled Tenebrous Divinities. Brutal death metal, kind of grindy, brutal death metal out of Argentina. Pretty solid release here. I got this in a mystery box or grab bag. I don't remember which particular one at this point. They all kind of run together. But it was pretty solid stuff for what it was. I thought it was a pretty decent little slab of brutal death metal. So, next up, we have a bolt thrower with my favorite bolt thrower release. This is a War Master. I got this one not too terribly long ago on eBay. I got a pretty good price on this. As you can see, that I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's like a fold in that back panel of the artwork there. It wasn't in the greatest condition as far as the inserts, but the disc looked pretty good. It has some writing with a Sharpie there on the disc, as you can see. I think this was like a radio station copy. I don't know too many radio stations that play bolt thrower, but probably, if I had to guess, like a college radio station or something. Next up, we have bolt thrower with Mercenary. Another solid bolt thrower release. This is unfortunately the only two releases from the band that I own. I need to rectify that sometime in the near future. There's been like an uptick and like a resurgence of bolt thrower worship bands and just appreciation for this project as of late, and I'm not upset about that at all because they are a solid band. I don't know if you hear the fish is trying to splash me. I hope the audio and visual are syncing up on this. I've been having some issues with that, but I'm just going to try to force through it and hope the issue resolves itself. Next up, we have Bolzer with Aura. This is a EP that, or I guess an EP that I tried purchasing several times, and it was like I was cursed to never get a copy of this. Stuff just kept falling through, so I was glad when I finally did get my hands on a copy of this. The band's kind of fallen out now. I haven't heard just too many people talk about them anymore, but there for a while it was pretty hot. There was a lot of people wanting to get their hands on that. And then we have Bolzer with Hero. I do enjoy. This is probably the Aura release is probably my favorite that I've heard from Bolzer, but I do have another release that has not made it into the shelving yet, so it kind of gets left out of this video, unfortunately. Next up, changing gears completely. This one seems way out of place in my collection. As I said when I started this, I'm not going to skip anything, even if it's something that seems out of place in the collection. We have Bone, Thugs in Harmony with the greatest hits. Kind of showing my age with this CD. I have not listened to this in ages. I don't even remember where I got this. I don't know if it was like at a flea market or what, but definitely showing my age with that one. I mean, it's solid. I don't listen to a lot of hip hop and that type stuff, but I do like that. So next up, we have Bone Hunter with Evil Triumphs Again. This was released on Hell's Headbangers. I'm assuming I probably got this in one of those Hell's Headbangers, so many CDs, like 10 CDs for so much, or one of their Black Friday sales. I'm assuming that's probably where I picked this one up. I don't remember just a ton about this particular release. I need to go back and revisit this. But moving on, we have Bones with Sons of Sleaze. This was released in 2013 on Planet Metal. Sleazy, thrashy, blackened nastiness. I don't know what else. I think this band is out of Chicago, if I am not mistaken. But pretty decent stuff there. Not for everybody. Little tough to digest, but it is pretty good. Next up, we have some death metal. This is a Bonestorm with Hidden Horizon. Haven't listened to this one in a little bit, but it was pretty solid. I do remember enjoying this quite a bit. This was released on Headless Cross Records in 2014. Trying to remember where I got picked this one up from. I'm thinking Red Stream Records. If not, I probably got it from Metallic Media. I'm pretty positive it came from one of those two, but I don't remember for certain which one. But I do enjoy this this little death metal release quite a bit. Next up, I haven't pulled this one off the shelf in a while. Still has the security tag on the top. The jewel case is a little beat up, but we'll show it anyway. This was released on Prosthetic Records in 2008. This is a Book of the Black Earth with Horoscopus, I believe is how you pronounce that. As you can see, that case is a little beat up. Pretty decent stuff here. I have not listened to it in a long time. I need to revisit this. Pretty positive it's got like a blackened death metal vibe from what I remember. It's sad that I have some stuff in my collection that I have not listened to in so long. I don't completely remember, but I'm assuming it's probably this blackened death metal vibe. That's what I remember from this. I also kind of remember it being kind of run of the mill, but I don't want to just speak that and stand 100% behind that because it has been so long since I have listened to that. This is one that I have not even taken out of the package yet. This is a project called Bukkake with an album called Ignominies. Bukkake with Ignominies. This was released on Transcending Records. I'm assuming this is probably brutal death metal, grindy death metal, but I have not listened to it yet. Obviously, usually I don't even put them on the shelf if they haven't been opened. So this one kind of slid past me, and now I feel obligated to listen to that before I even put it back on the shelf. Moving on, we have Bortner with Origin. I do enjoy some Bortner, kind of melodic black metal, symphonic black metal at times. Pretty good stuff. I'm sure if you're watching this channel, you've heard Bortner, or at least heard of them. This was released on Century Media in 2006, so it has been out for quite some time. Next up, we have the Archaic Curse from Bortner. This is another one that the CD case, it may not be picking up too much on camera, but it is definitely cracked up. So I will be listening to the Bukkake release while I change out a couple CD cases after this video is done. There we go. And there was a track on here that I remember really digging, and now I can't remember which one that was. So next up we have Bortner with Epic. This is in the slipcase. Still has the little price tag on the back of this. I bought this for $3. Bit of a steal there, especially in a brick and mortar store. Walking in and getting, usually you can get better prices in brick and mortar stores. There's the inside look of it. There's a track on here called Way to the Wind. Yeah, I love that release. I mean, that track. I don't know for sure what it is about that particular song that I like so much. I remember listening to it one time when it was storming really bad, and they were calling for tornadoes and stuff, and I was like, man, Way to the Wind, perfect track for that, and it just kind of stuck with me ever since then. Next up, we have Born from Pain with Survival. I received this in a pretty large Metal Blade Records lot that sold on eBay. Bought a few of those lots. This one was in that. I don't remember a ton about this, if I'm going to be completely honest. I think I gave this one spin and then put it back on the shelf, and I don't recall just too terribly much about it. This was released in 2008, so it's been out a while. May have to revisit this. I want to say it had like some hardcore-ish vibes going on, almost like that Hatebreed kind of vibe going, but I don't I don't want to say that's for sure what it is because I don't remember. That's just what my brain is telling me. Speaking of core, let's move on to some deathcore. This is Born of Osiris with A Higher Place. I used to be pretty big into Born of Osiris. I have not listened to them in quite some time now. With the collection this big and having had some of this stuff for years and years and years, you're going to run into stuff along the way that you just don't really listen to too much anymore. This is one of those projects. I still get a notion every once in a while to pull some of this stuff off the shelf, and that's why I hang on to it, because when that itch does surface, I want to have that there to scratch it. So next up we have Born of Osiris with The New Rain. I actually remember ordering this one to kind of date myself, as I do sometimes on this channel, and tell you how old I am. I actually purchased this from half.com, which is not around anymore. It was kind of a eBay sister site. I think eBay owned half.com at the time. And it was a site kind of like eBay, but it was completely dedicated to music and, well, just media. There was books, music, and that type thing. That was all that was on half.com, and that's where I ordered this from. So there we go. I think that was, 2007? Yeah. Next up, we have Born of Osiris with Soul Sphere. This is the slipcase. I don't think these are in order by date. Sometimes I put them in chronological order on the shelves, but if it's a project that I just haven't listened to just a ton as of late, they're probably out of order. I love the artworks on this. Between the slipcase and then the actual artwork, I think they both look pretty phenomenal. The album itself, I remember it being just kind of a little above average. It still has the sticker on the inside. Actually, 2 stickers. And I just dropped the other one. The other one was just a Sumerian Records sticker. There's the actual disc. Then the back there. Now, I remember that one. I liked it for what it was, but I was kind of getting out of that kind of core phase at the time. It was 2015, so I kind of moved on from that. Next up, we have Born of Osiris with The Discovery. Once again, I've always been a fan of their artworks. Kind of spacey type stuff going on, sci-fi themed looking artworks. And I think that's it for the Born of Osiris. It is. Next up, we have a kind of acoustic, kind of like dark acoustic rock type deal going on. This is a project called Bosse, B-O-S-S-E. I believe the musician behind this, his name is Richard Bosse. And this one is entitled Echoes of the Forgotten. Purchased this from Redstream many, many years ago. Kind of fell in love with this project. Have not listened to it in quite some time. I definitely see myself pulling this one off the shelf in the very, very near future. Very relaxing, just kind of dark stuff, and that would definitely kind of fit the mood that I've had going lately. This is another project from Bosse. This one is Visions of the End. It's just in this little, I hate these little, you can see a bit maybe of a horizon or something there, but it's so dark on this little CD wallet, you really can't make out the landscape too much, but there it is. Echoes of the Forgotten was probably my favorite of the two releases that I own. The disc itself is just dark on that one, not just much, but it is a very dark themed project, so that kind of fits. There's that Sumerian sticker that I had earlier. Next up, we have Bottle Kopf with Absolutely Nothing. Got this in a, I believe this is in one of those metallic media, fairly large CD lots. This one has like a death metal kind of vibe going on. This was released on Psycho / Tribal Convictions. And I don't remember just a ton. I think it was like kind of grindy death metal. I don't remember just being super enthralled with this. I may have to revisit this, and then if I still don't like it, maybe rehome. I need to probably start trying to rehome some of this stuff I don't like, rather than it just sitting here collecting dust. Maybe someone else will enjoy it a bit more than I do. Next up, we have Bound in Human Flesh with Sick Lust for Revenge. Obviously, some death metal, kind of grindy death metal. I think I got this one. Yeah, it was released on Redstream. So I was going to say, I think maybe I got this in a Redstream mystery box or mystery package. Pretty decent little slab of death metal here. Has a very like a campy feel with the artwork and that type stuff. And I'm dropping CDs. Bear with me. Next up, we have this is Wednesday 13's country like side project, Bourbon Crow. This one is entitled Highway to Hangovers. It's pretty funny. I haven't listened to it in a long time. I enjoyed this quite a bit more back in my drinking days when I tended to overindulge in alcohol. This was a perfect soundtrack for that. I picked this up when I saw Wednesday 13 play live in St. Louis many years ago, obviously, because I haven't touched alcohol, I think, in like 8 years now, just to give you an idea of how long ago that I picked that up. And then I also picked up, not at that show, but later on, I got the Bourbon Crow album, Long Way to the Bottom. This one's kind of much more tongue-in-cheek. This one kind of leans more into almost a traditional kind of country music sound. I'm not the biggest country music fan, so I think I liked the first one a bit more, but just because it has that nostalgia feel, I have some memories tied up into that, albeit they probably aren't the best memories now, but yeah. Some funny stories, if nothing else, can be related to Bourbon Crow. Next up, this is one that I picked up from Magic Bullet Records. Unfortunately, Magic Bullet is not around anymore. This was their reissue of Boy Sets Fire, the EP entitled This Crying, This Screaming, My Voice is Being Torn. Being Born, I apologize. This is emo-y core, and that might sound horrible to you guys, but this is actually a pretty solid release. Don't write it off just because of my piss poor description. This is pretty heavy, and it is pretty solid. So back when Magic Bullet was liquidating a ton of stuff, I picked up a ton of Magic Bullet releases, and I redistributed them, did giveaways and care packages and everything else because the prices were so good, and there were some hidden gems within that discography, and this is one of those releases that was really good and overlooked. I think a lot of people wrote that one off just because of the actual genre that it was, but that is a standout for me in that kind of emo genre. Next up, we have Brackish Tide with the View from Below. Cool guys right here, man. I really dig Brackish Tide. This was a pretty solid release, and the members of this project are pretty stellar guys as well. I was introduced to them through Metalhead Box. I know I have at least one Brackish Tide shirt as well. I think I have a couple of them. And they sent me some stickers and stuff. It's been a little while ago now, but they were some stand-up dudes. This was released in 2015, and a pretty solid release there. Next up, we have some power metal. This is Brainstorm with Soul Temptation. This was released in, I don't see a date, 2003 on Metal Blade Records. I did not think it had been out that long, so almost 20 years ago. 18 years ago. This is like the deluxe digipack that has the DVD, like a live DVD, and then the actual full-length album. But good stuff here. I enjoy some some Brainstorm. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but I do enjoy them. Then I have the little EP from Brainstorm entitled Fire Walk With Me. This is 5 tracks. It's got Fire Walk With Me, the single version, Fire Walk With Me, the Fire Starter mix, and then it has a couple live tracks. And you guys know what an EP is all about. But a decent little EP. I do own some more Brainstorm, but they are in the next section. So, I mean, spoiler alert, you'll know what we're starting off with on the next video. But I was glad to actually get this one knocked out and get another CD collection video done. I know it's been a minute and I still have a long way to go. That's all I've got. Stay classy, stay metal, and I'll see you guys soon.